Grow up. To mature or develop from childhood to adulthood. Synonym for grow up. Mature, develop, evolve, age, blossom, come of age. She needs to grow up and stop throwing tantrums whenever things don't go her way. She grew up in a large family in the countryside. It's time for you to grow up and start taking responsibility for your actions. Look after. To take care of or watch over someone or something. Synonym for look after. Care for, attend to, nurture, watch over, protect, tend to. She looks after her younger siblings while their parents are at work. Can you look after my dog while I'm on vacation? She promised to look after her younger siblings while their parents were away. Take in. To provide care or support for someone, often temporarily. Synonym for take in. Foster, harbor, shelter, provide for, support, care for. They took in their niece when her parents passed away. The shelter took in the homeless family and provided them with food and shelter. We agreed to take in our friend who was going through a rough patch until they got back on their feet. Settle down. To establish a stable and permanent residence. Synonym for settle down. Establish roots, put down roots, plant oneself, become established, calm down, stabilize. Once they found a suitable neighborhood, they were ready to settle down and buy a house. After years of traveling, he decided it was time to settle down and start a family. After years of traveling, they decided to settle down and start a family. Bring up. To raise and educate a child. Synonym for bring up. Raise, rear, parent, nourish, educate, train. She was brought up by her grandparents after her parents passed away. They brought up their children to be respectful and kind. It's challenging to bring up children in today's fast-paced society. Look out for. To watch over or protect someone or something. Synonym for look out for. Watch over, protect, keep an eye on, be vigilant for, safeguard, care for. Remember to look out for any suspicious behavior while you're on patrol. As the eldest sibling, he always looked out for his younger brother. Older siblings often look out for their younger siblings. Fall out. To have a disagreement or argument with a family member. Synonym for fall out. Quarrel, disagree, argue, clash, have a falling out, dispute. It's not uncommon for siblings to fall out over trivial matters. After the heated argument, they fell out and didn't speak to each other for weeks. They fell out over how to divide their inheritance. Get along with. To have a good relationship with someone. Synonym for get along with. Bond with, forge a relationship, be on good terms with, establish rapport with, have a good relationship with. I've always found it easy to get along with my cousins. Despite their differences, they surprisingly get along with each other very well. She gets along well with her siblings. Keep in touch. To maintain communication with someone, especially when separated. Synonym for keep in touch. Stay connected, maintain contact, stay in contact, remain in touch, stay in touch, keep contact. Even though they live in different countries, they still keep in touch through regular video calls. Despite living far apart, they keep in touch through video calls. It's essential to keep in touch with old friends, even when life gets busy. Take after. To resemble or inherit traits from a family member. Synonym for take after. Resemble, inherit traits from, follow in the footsteps of, be like, favor, inherit characteristics from. He takes after his father in both appearance and temperament. She takes after her mother in both looks and personality. Sarah definitely takes after her mother when it comes to artistic talent. Look up to. To admire and respect someone, often an older family member. Synonym for look up to. Admire, respect, idolize, esteem, honor, reverence. He looks up to his grandfather as a role model and mentor. He looks up to his grandfather as a role model. As the eldest sister, she has always looked up to her parents for guidance. Stick together. To remain united and supportive as a family. Synonym for stick together. Unite. Remain united. Stay unified. Stand together. Stay together. Maintain solidarity. Despite the challenges they faced, the family stuck together and overcame adversity. In times of crisis, it's essential for families to stick together and support each other. In times of crisis, families stick together. Drop by. To visit someone casually and briefly. Synonym for drop by. Visit briefly, stop by, pop in, swing by, pay a visit, call in. I'll drop by your place later to drop off those books I borrowed. They drop by their grandparents' house for a cup of tea. Feel free to drop by anytime you're in the neighborhood. Lean on. To rely on someone for support or assistance. Synonym for lean on. Rely on, depend on, trust in, count on, turn to, seek support from. She leaned on her best friend for emotional support after the loss of her pet. During tough times, he knew he could lean on his siblings for support. In difficult times, it's important to lean on family for support. Move out. To leave one's family home to live independently. Synonym for move out. Leave home, depart, relocate, go away, set off, strike out. After graduating from college, she decided it was time to move out and live on her own. It's a big step to move out of your parents' house and start living independently. When she turned 18, she moved out to go to college. Lend a hand. To offer help or assistance. Synonym for lend a hand. Help, assist, aid, support, give a hand, pitch in. Whenever they needed help with household chores, their neighbors were always willing to lend a hand. Don't hesitate to ask if you need someone to lend a hand with moving furniture. They always lend a hand when a family member is in need. Stay over. To spend the night at someone else's house. Synonym for stay over. Spend the night, stay for the night, sleep over, lodge, overnight, remain overnight. Is it okay if I stay over at your place tonight? My car broke down. The children stayed over at their aunt's house for the weekend. They invited their friends to stay over for the weekend. Drop off. To leave someone or something at a particular place. Synonym for drop off. Deliver, leave, deposit, bring, hand over, set down. They dropped the kids off at school before heading to work. I'll drop off the groceries on my way home from work. Can you drop off this package at the post office for me? Looking on. To visit someone briefly to see how they are doing. Synonym for looking on. Check on, visit briefly, drop by, pop in, stop in, pay a visit to. They looked in on their elderly neighbor to make sure she was okay. I'll stop by and look in on your cat while you're out of town. She promised to look in on her elderly neighbor while they were away on vacation. Count on. To rely on someone or something to provide support or assistance. Synonym for count on. Depend on, rely on, trust in, bank on, lean on, rest on. You can count on your family to be there for you when you need them. We're counting on the weather to cooperate for the outdoor event. In times of trouble, she knew she could count on her best friend for support. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.